Hello, this is Getting Unstuck Part 2, picking up where we left off. It can help to create a calendar or a journal to track your progress, no matter how small. It keeps you motivated and keeps things in perspective for you. Most people keep calendars to write upcoming events on them. I recommend the use of one to record what has already happened, so you are able to look back on it and see in real time how you are progressing. Sometimes it feels like we are stuck and there's no movement going on. But as long as we are continuing to send out vibes of what we do desire, and we are consistent about it regardless of what the physical world is showing us at the time, those things are on their way. I like to use a calendar that I invented many years ago. It's a spiral calendar. Our lives move in spirals just as our DNA, and all of life reflects this spiral pattern. I liken the spiral to the flush of a toilet. In my mind, I see the water spiraling out the dirty water and spiraling in the clean. This is how our lives work. In order to clear our vibe for better things, we have to flush out the bad. And utilization of a spiral chart that isn't linear and square can be very helpful. Simply draw a spiral on a standard piece of paper long ways, which is like this. Make sure the ends of the spiral are even on both edges of the paper. Mark the spiral with 28 to 31 dots, depending on the month. Space them evenly. It is best to use a template so you can create one spiral and copy the rest onto subsequent sheets. Connect the sheets with tape, then find a long wall to post it up on, and step back and see the moves you are making forward. Anytime you feel down on yourself or as though you suck, you have proof right there in black and white of not only your progress, but also good things that have started coming in, coincidences and serendipitous events that have presented themselves, as well as little manifestations that you see coming into your life as a result of what you are putting out. All of these things and more can be tracked and brought to your awareness to keep you uplifted and tenacious in your endeavors. Whew, it's hot in here. It's like 90 degrees. This also keeps you consistent. Set an alarm every day to fill out your progress calendar, once at the beginning of the day, once at the end. This helps you check in and see where you are with your emotions as well, and gives you the opportunity to reset your vibe. What you are seeking is seeking you, which is a quote by Rumi. You have to build up momentum, and in order to do that, you have to find the good in what is surrounding you. See the silver lining in every situation. Try to harvest what knowledge and lessons you can from each circumstance and interaction that you have with others in your life. Find the meat of the matter, the heart. What good can be gleaned from this? This shifts you from a position of victimization and helplessness into a position of power. Instead of being reactive, you need to be creative. This and how long you can maintain it make up the foundation of everything that comes after. Sitting in a position of lack and of wanting gets you only more lack and more wanting. How do we shift this? By taking full responsibility even over things that are seemingly not our fault. And also by expressing gratitude for the wonderful things that already exist. Basically by saying, I accept what's going on right now, because you cannot let go of something that you've never held on to. There is a part of the brain called the reticular activating system. Essentially, it programs our brains to hone in and focus on certain things. Unfortunately, this can easily create a kind of tunnel vision that, if we are unaware of it, can keep us stuck in a rut. We want to give our RAS, reticular activating system, good fodder to chew on, to focus on. This is where it starts to get fun. Okay. Thankfulness and responsibility. First things first, as you endeavor to live a life of wonder, it is a prerequisite that you look around you in your current situation, and no matter how bad you think it is, find at least 10 things to be thankful for. And there are always 10 things. If you feel especially motivated, come up with 20 or more. Your first thought, I'm sure, will be, why do I even have to do this? My life sucks. I have nothing to be thankful for. Well, there's a very good reason, and this is the first step. It is imperative, and there's no getting around it. When I was a child, I read some of the Bible, trying to find my way. My parents were not religious, so I had no background in studying it. One particular passage in the Bible, Matthew 25:29, said something like this: "To he that has, more will be given, And to he that does not have, even what he has will be taken from him. I was enraged by these words. How could a fair God, one that says he loves me, ever make such a rule? Those that have get more, and those that have little lose what they have? And yet in our lives, does this not often seem to be the case? Until I learned the law of attraction, I did not and could not grasp that concept. But one day it hit me. The passage refers directly to the law of attraction and gratitude. Like attracts like, which is a scientific fact. And therefore, those who have much are naturally in a position to be grateful for what they have, thereby attracting more wonderful things to themselves. Those who look around and think they have very little are naturally not in a position to be thankful, and so are spending their energy worrying and being negative about their situation and circumstance, thereby attracting more of the same to themselves. It seems very unfair at first glance, but it is actually a very solid law of life. And the sooner it is learned, the more rapid the change. It is actually beautifully designed so that it is not all up to chance, so that results can be relatively predictable, and so that this thing we call life can actually be lived by us however we choose. If life were designed any other way, it would not be based on the physical premise of cause and effect, and therefore nothing would be constant or predictable in any way. These laws serve you. The only requirement is that you acknowledge yourself as a master. We are all masters of our own destiny, and this is a position of personal self-empowerment. Regardless of the ways in which you may feel a victim, it is important that you stop, look around, accept, and embrace whatever issues you may have at this present time. For you cannot let go of something if you have not first held it. In order to let go, you must accept all of it. So say to yourself, I accept where I am at right now. I accept responsibility for where I am now because I realize in order to change, I must see that I have power. The only way for me to have power in this moment is to accept how things are right now. That doesn't mean that you can't stop a bad situation. It just means that you're not denying what's in front of you. You see, if you continue to see yourself as a victim, then you are perceiving yourself as powerless, and you will then continue to experience your life from that perspective, a perspective of having no control. And then that is how it will always be for you, cause and effect. The very moment you take full responsibility for your life, you are taking that power into your hands and are in a position to make a new beginning for yourself, to flip the script. An example of how to be thankful. Be thankful that you have the quality of life that you do. Look around you at what you can enjoy at any moment. Be thankful that you don't live in a sand trap in the middle of the desert, for example, with no water to be found for miles and dust blowing into your eyes and mouth, searing heat in the air. Oftentimes, we don't realize how good we have it because being brought up in privilege automatically blinds us to the concept of less. Generally, anywhere in the United States, we have it good because we live in a land of plenty. We enjoy some things third world peoples may never experience. Running water, electricity, entertainment, take your pick. Even a homeless person still has limited access to amenities that people across the globe do not have. Always be aware of how good you really do have it. Don't imagine you are already spoiled. Know it. Or be thankful in advance. If you're really getting on a roll with whatever it is that you already have, then the ability to thank in advance could be an easy transition. Thank for the little things you want or that you know are coming your way, knowing that you will get them. This seems like an easy concept, but it must be real to you. You must really have the faith that what you have been thankful for will become a creation in your world without fail. By the time you finish this book and gotten the hang of this should be child's play. The sooner you accept what is and thank for it and begin thanking in advance, the sooner you'll transform your life. You will start to see magic before your eyes. Things you hoped for but never thought could happen will happen for you. But you must believe that it can be true for you. Whatever you put gratitude and positive thoughts into consistently will end up being true for you. It is all about consistency. Like attracts like, and it builds up over time. When you are practicing gratitude, you must feel thankful. The emotion is key. Emotion is energy in motion, and your passion is like a powerful magnet to draw things to you in time. Write down and keep track of anything at all that you know is a purposeful manifestation. They will build up, and you'll see that you are getting far, and it will boost your confidence in your abilities too. Remember, to he that has, more will be given, but to he that does not have, even what he has will be taken from him. Your life will shrink or expand in direct proportion to your gratitude about it. Try it for something little, try it for something big, and then watch. The law of attraction will prove itself to you. And I've seen this so many times in my life. And once I actually figured this out and started consistently applying it, things immediately started to change. It's not like you wake up one day and you're just in a mansion with a in-ground pool and servants, but it's going to be a gradual progression out of whatever it is that you've been stuck in. Facing obstacles. Every day as you live your life, you're sending out energy into the universe. This energy is measurable, scientifically measurable, and it is going out whether you want it to or not. 70 straight seconds of focused energy has already built momentum. The energy of your thoughts, words, visualizations, and actions are always sending out vibrations into the world around you. So you can either take the ignorance is bliss approach, which nowadays often isn't bliss at all, or you can use your imagination and creativity and have fun shaping your own world. It really is that simple of a choice. Regardless of the pickle you're in, although there may not seem to be a way out or through, you do have the option of creating happiness and fulfillment for yourself no matter what. There are always options, even if we do not initially see them. The biggest tool that you have is your mind and the ability to imagine whatever possibilities can open other doors for you from where you are at. I started out in a van that somebody bought me because they knew I was being domestically abused, and my children were in the van with me, and I was pregnant with my fifth, and I was able to get into this house that I now own by doing this process here. I started out with nothing. I had to pick through piles of garbage that were left in order to have anything, because all my stuff was trashed when I left my abuser. So it really is a gradual process, and you have to start it out and have faith that it's going to work. You can look around you and feel the feeling of being stuck, the sameness of how things have always been, or you can close your eyes and visualize and put in the work it takes. There is no way to fail because living life is just like learning to walk. When you fall down, you get back up and keep on going. And who gives a fuck what anybody else around you says or thinks? They can just fuck off. All that matters is what you think about yourself. Whatever's currently going on is the vapor trail from your journey. If you change what you bring into your awareness and change what you put out, then you are making all new creations and new effects to experience. Daydream. Set goals. Emotional roller coaster. To those hurting deeply and feeling totally stuck, embrace what you are in. Look at it, decide what the lesson is, and then let it go. Imagine it is leaves blowing away in a brisk breeze, gone from you forever. Engage the experience like a wave crashing on you that you must swim with to get out of. Fighting won't make it subside. Only acceptance and surrender make it possible to begin again. What you resist persists. There are times you'll need to push back, but you will feel when those times are. Like raging against the injustices of our society. There is a time and place for that, and there's a usefulness for that, but it can't be all fighting. A lot of it has to be having faith, working towards positive things, and knowing that those changes are going to make a difference in the long run. Addiction predicament. For those stuck in addiction of any kind, drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, food, work, you name it. It is necessary to do whatever it takes to deal with the issue immediately if you are committed to change. You have to stop. You have to, in order to get out of that rut, because that's the rut. The addiction is the rut, or one of the ruts. Whatever it takes. Realize that your addiction is your backwards attempt to regulate your emotions. We turn to substances when we have nervous energy that we are not using productively and when we are trying to escape overwhelming emotions. Actually an attempt to fix things, but it's the wrong approach. Understand that until you get therapeutic assistance, which that doesn't mean that nobody ever gets through it without therapeutic assistance, but therapeutic assistance can be a huge help. whether in person or by self-educating. So you don't have to go to a shrink if you don't want to. You can just look some stuff up on the internet, and whatever feels right to you, embrace it. If it doesn't feel right, pass on it. You are going to continue, and to understand that until you get therapeutic assistance, you are going to continue to feel like the answer is outside of you in some kind of substance or way, but it is not. It is within you. The answer is within you. While you're making needed changes and keeping sobriety, you can practice gratitude and taking responsibility, and also enacting forgiveness to yourself and asking forgiveness of others after a sincere apology if you feel the need. I don't subscribe to 12-step AA or NA, and there are people that it helps, but it's not for everyone. But some of the tenets of AA or NA are useful, and this is one of them. The enacting of forgiveness of self and others, and asking of others if you have that issue. Only you can decide. In fact, getting and staying clean will require these things from you. Only you can decide when you are ready. But until you set that down, you cannot pick up your empowerment that is needed to make changes, because addiction is a form of disempowerment, even though it feels like it is empowering because it feels good and it's a coping mechanism. It is not a form of self-empowerment. And until you get to that place of self-empowerment, it is just going to be a rut that you're stuck in. Mental motivation. Some people have a mental health issue that requires regular medication, but medication in and of itself is never the whole answer to the problem. In other words, whatever's going on with you mentally and emotionally, a pill is not going to fix, just like any other substance. Your mental focus on either positive or negative is a large factor in the conditions of your life. You need your mind to be clear in order to manifest things efficiently. A crazy inside makes for a crazy outside, and those things are parallel whether it comes to mental illness or addiction. Those are hand in hand. Incarceration situation. Some people are locked up waiting months or even years to be released. Being held against your will in an uncomfortable and often dangerous environment is one of the hardest experiences to get through in life. But even here, you have the option of how to approach your life and what attitude to take. Going to jail is now becoming a normal occurrence and is nothing to be ashamed of, regardless of who tries to put that stigma on you. While locked up, it is important to make whatever personal progress you can. You're in an environment where you are forcibly being disciplined, so you might as well spend some of that time disciplining yourself. It is totally possible to create positive change even in jail or prison. Anyone capable of using their imagination can figure out something fun and beneficial to do. And I think a lot about lifers, because lifers often spend a lot of time while they're in just causing havoc with other people, with the officers, with other inmates. And the reason for this is because they're not going anywhere. This is their current reality, and they feel like they can do whatever they want with it. Well, if you are willing to put yourself out there, you can, write a book that would help someone, start a program, what have you. I'll pick this back up in just a moment.